Welcome back to Better Than Before. It's time for our business and leadership lesson today. And today I want to talk to you about developing the strength of your willpower. Willpower is something you need almost every single day because resistance, we've talked about resistance on prior episodes, resistance is going to be something you face in your daily life, especially if you aspire to any kind of success whatsoever. Any kind of spiritual program, any kind of health program, any kind of career type program, resistance is going to show up in its many forms trying to sabotage you from getting your best results. So sometimes just being gritty and having true grit, as John Wayne would aspire to in his movie, you need to have just that gritty determination that nothing is going to hold you back. Nothing's going to set you back. Nothing's going to stop you from getting to that end result that you truly have the intentions and that you desire to achieve. So 4 really important keys to developing the strength of your willpower. Number 1, you have to realize that you are in charge of you. So a lot of people have this thought in their head, well, I'm not a leader. Well, yes, you are, because the first person you have to lead is yourself. Who is the person making decisions daily, minute by minute for you in your life? Well, of course, you are. You lead you always. However, sometimes we surrender our leadership of ourselves to other things. We let the cheesecake lead us, or we let the bread and the carbohydrates lead us, or we let the emotions lead us, or we even let other people. If you want to develop your own strength of willpower, you have to decide, number 1, I'm not going to surrender my leadership of myself to anyone. Key number 2, understand that this kind of attitude is lifelong. Anything that you do, and we talked about this today too in our guest interview, you have to stick with it. It's a lifelong process. It's not something that you do once. You know, if I were to just feed my dogs one time, they would eventually perish because you can't get fulfilled on the memory of a potato. You have to actually eat a potato, and you can't just eat a potato once. You have to eat a potato daily, or apple, or whatever food that you decide to take. You will not get nourished on the memory of any kind of food. And it's like that in life too. The whole process of achievement is a lifelong endeavor. Willpower gets strengthened by results. So as you get good results from your leadership decision of yourself, that fuels and powers you on to better and bigger results that are repetitive. Key number 3, success typically lies just beyond the point that you want to give up. When you get to the point of throwing up your hands, from shrugging your shoulders, from getting frustrated, and you're about to give up, your success and your result is just beyond that. So a lot of times, if you can hang in there just a little while longer, you usually see some positive breakthrough. And, you know, what I've told people in the past, it's much better to have a breakthrough than a breakdown. And a lot of times people break down before they break through. So I'm just trying to illustrate to you that success is just over the next hill. So when you see that hill that you have to climb, or that barrier that looks too tough for you, success is just on the other side of that. And so willpower reads that signal and says, you know what? If we're about to give up, that means that winning is just on the other side. We better hang in there just a little bit longer, grit our teeth, tighten our fists, whatever we have to do to fight through just a little while longer, we're going to have a breakthrough. Number 4, a sense of destiny and destination is absolutely imperative. You need to read big idea number 1 in my book, The Big Idea, which is you need a sense of purpose. And there's a whole exercise in there My book's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million. You can get it on our Clear Vision website. But that first big idea in my book is very crucial and critical. Understanding your purpose. What are you on the pathway to? Why do you get out of bed every day? What is your day-to-day process, and what is your destination? If you're on the road to somewhere, you typically know, I'm going to Denver, or I'm going to Dallas, or I'm going to Chicago. What is your destination and your destiny? That way you can map out and put benchmarks and mile markers in place to know both directionally, you know what direction you're going in your life, and you also know progress. You know where you are and how far it is to get to your desired destiny and destination. And sometimes knowing those two things, knowing you're on the right path, can fuel your willpower to stay the course. Knowing how far you are into it and how far you have to go can sometimes fuel your willpower. So those are the keys to developing the strength of your willpower. Number one, never surrender your self-leadership. You lead you always. Number two, understand this is a lifelong process, right? Long-term benefits come from long-term processes. Number three, success is usually past the point of giving up. So just about the time you're ready to throw in the towel, don't throw it. If you hang in there just a little longer, you're going to have a breakthrough instead of a breakdown. And number four, you need to have a sense. You don't have to have it mapped out perfectly. You don't have to know exactly what it looks like, but you need to have a sense of knowing your destiny and destination so you can map out both the direction and the length of time it's going to take for you to arrive where you want to go. Those are the 4 keys to developing the strength of your personal willpower. I'm sure there's some value and some help in that for you, and you should be able to apply that if you want to have a stronger willpower. I want you to have a really great week this week, and I hope you're on the way to your destiny and destination. And remember, everything gets better when you get better.
Thank you for listening to Better Than Before with Tony Richards, a business leaders podcast powered by Clear Vision Development Group. For more resources from Tony, visit clearvisiondevelopment.com. Join us next time for another episode of Better Than Before with Tony Richards.